Welcome to the Celiac Diva!
For today's product pick, I have the Boom Choco Boom bar. This is from Enjoyed Life, and I'm going to give you a little close-up. La, 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 la. It's delish. You can find it in the Diva store, tossing it behind. And now, on to our episode. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Celiac Diva Show. I'm your hostess, Lauren Lucille, and today I have an awesome guest, Craig Pinto from kickingforceliac.org. Okay, guys, we're going to jump right in. Craig is the Guinness Book World Record holder for 717 field goals at 40 yards. You like how I sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I don't, in 12 hours. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, so Craig is the founder and executive director of Kicking for Celiac, and we have some questions for him today. Craig, what were your symptoms of celiac disease?
When I was younger, a lot of symptoms were initially would be headaches, bloating, a lot of cramping, a lot of lethargic days.
The brain fog type?
Yeah, a lot of that stuff. But mostly, yeah, like I said, like cramping, painful where I couldn't even be able to stand up upright, at times. So.
And you were diagnosed with Crohn's disease, I believe, at 12 years old. Is that correct? And then what clued your doctors in to test for celiac?
Well, yeah, I was diagnosed when I was 12. And I continued to have symptoms, I just continued to have up until I was about 21, 22 years old, and I was continuously getting tested, and it was, kind of the symptoms are in the same spectrum of everything else, so really couldn't figure it out, and there was a nurse who, God bless her to this day, kind of said, well, we heard of this thing, or, there's also this thing, celiac disease, it wasn't obviously a big thing 11 years ago, or maybe doctors wouldn't think of it right away, and, so they sent me for blood work, and it obviously came back through the roof positive, and then followed up with an endoscopy, and and that's history. Yeah.
And has going gluten-free helped your Crohn's disease as in addition to your celiac disease?
I definitely think so. As far as restricting myself to or cutting a lot of stuff out of my diet has helped a lot, because I guess a lot of stuff that would irritate the Crohn's, maybe when I wasn't following a gluten-free diet, now is cut out. So it really helps a lot of both symptoms.
Both symptoms. Okay, looking at my cards, everybody. Okay, Craig. The cool thing about Craig is he is an athlete, big-time athlete. He had aspirations to be a professional football player, and celiac really has affected that. Is that true?
Yeah, coming out of college, I played 2 years in college, and after my second year is when I was diagnosed with celiac disease. So ultimately, I dropped out of school. It was a lot more mentally disabling than physically disabling. So when I left school and I kind of killed the whole football thing, it took a little while to get back into it, but eventually, kind of found my way back into it and got back on the game. And
started getting stronger and stronger, and started kickingforceliac.org. Now tell them, what is kickingforceliac.org?
Kicking for Celiac is our foundation. It's obviously dedicated to raising awareness, education, and really helping a lot in the celiac disease community. We do, we're doing fundraisers, a lot of different fundraisers, a lot of physical.
And not just football, right?
Yeah, and we have, in September, we have a golfing event coming up. We have another Guinness Records event in October. And, a lot of different events scattered through there, but it's mostly to raise awareness, and obviously to promote physical aspects of celiac disease, and not just, that, like I said, that you have to kind of wither away and melt away.
You don't have to crawl under a rock.
You don't have to crawl under a rock, and that's the real thing, and we have a scholarship program coming out where we'll do, starting in 2012, we're going to have scholarship awards for students, seniors in high school going to college that do have celiac disease, so we'll work on that, and yeah, we really hope that it becomes a positive thing in the community.
That is awesome. Okay, here's my last question. What advice do you have for those who want to start a foundation or raise awareness for celiac disease? Celiac disease. I didn't ask that in a very good question-like manner.
For those who want to start a foundation, I would say, do your homework for sure. It's a lot of work starting it up, and a lot of, you have to make sure you have all your bases covered as far as, your tax exemption and all that good stuff. That's the fun part of the foundation. And just for for a cause itself, something like celiac disease, for me, it's personal in my family and myself. To really start it for the right reasons, to know that you're going into it, it's going to be a lot of work, but ultimately that you'll be working and helping a community that you really are a part of, that you really care about. So, I think if you have that in place, you have kind of a recipe for success, and you'll be all right.
I think that's awesome. Do you have any lingering symptoms? I'm curious of celiac. Are you doing pretty good now? I'm
doing pretty well. I'm not, I follow an extremely strict diet, so I really do watch everything I take in and everything, And if there's ever a question, I don't even touch it. I used to kind of be like a little rebellious and figure that, but now I'm extremely kind of cut off with the diet and everything. So
It's really helped you in staying really strict.
yes.
Which I totally advise. All right, everybody, I'm going to leave you with a quote from Craig Pinto. One thing I really admire about Craig is he's just encouraging, especially those of you who are athletes, that you don't have to crawl under a rock, that life still does go on and you can continue to be strong and rock and roll with it. And this is his quote: celiac doesn't mean you can't be strong or do what you want to do. It just means you got to change your diet and do it better. All right, everybody, this is Lauren, Lucille, and Craig coming to you from the beautiful Central Park. Have a fantastic gluten-free day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye! Craig, what do you think of that microphone?
It's like people walking around, I have it like down my stuff like that.
Okay, that's the warm-up. And Craig, last question. How do you feel about my sparkly microphone?
Well, I looked at it online, I made sure I matched with my, as sad as that sounds, I didn't want to clash and have I didn't want to have the sunlight blind me with the sparkles from your microphone.
Juice, natural chocolate, non-alcohol, well, crap. Shoot, just keep the first one.